I never get tired of preaching chess patterns. Improve your chess pattern recognition. You will be amazed what you can find, what you can see. This game is from the Reykjavik Open. I was following it closely as I was the assistant tournament director. And in this game, with the white pieces, Alexandra Prado, one of the streamers of the tournament, she played king e3. It's a tough position, and this move is not good enough, and black should win. After some tough defense, Alexandra managed to make a draw. But the best move here is bishop a5. And it's actually quite amazing, because it looks like black can just play a move like rook b3 and start picking off pawns. But here's the key idea, and the idea of playing bishop a5. The idea was rook c7. Now king somewhere. We could go to e8 or d8. Let's go to d8. The bishop is attacked anyway, so there's no dangerous discovery. So bishop here. But now it turns out it's actually a perpetual check. And there's nothing to be done. We're simply going to move the rook next move and make a check. Well, you could attack the bishop, but I would simply play rook c6 check. And if you take it, I take back with the rook, and you're going to lose a bunch of pawns. I'm going to win. I'm not going to fall for the knight fork on c3. I'm going to move my king. This is hanging. This is good for white. Let's say I just move the b pawn. Rook c6 check. King here. Rook c7. And now this square is covered. So no matter where we go, we're simply going to make a check. Because you can't reach d7 to attack the rook. Because once you go here, I give you a check. So you have to go somewhere else. And I give you just any random discovered check on the c file, except rook c8. And then we go back, and it's a perpetual. This position right here is one of my favorite studies. It's white to move and draw. And the number of people that don't get it is astonishing. Even fantastic grandmasters. But the solution is quite easy. You play knight h6, and when the king tries to approach, you just keep on checking on the g file. So whenever you go down here, the king is covering the rook. All these squares. So you try to, go down, give a check, you walk up to f4. Then the knight is protecting the rook. And the king can't go here because of the knight. We keep checking, approaches. Here, the key, this pawn was needed to fulfill the full perpetual on the g file. Again, the knight is covering this, so the king can't go here to protect g7. So we get to g7, and then just up and down. And this can, in fact, be copied with a bishop. The mechanism is slightly different, but it's basically the same. Here, rook g7, king approaches. Let's try to do similar stuff. Let's try to approach the rook, but just like in Alexandra's game, actually here we need to protect the bishop, so rook g6 to block the rook from taking our bishop, check, and then we keep checking. Rook g7, rook g6, here the pawn is protecting the rook. In Alexandra's example, there are only 2 ranks that we needed to cover, but here the pawn helps with the third, and then rinse and repeat, and once we're here, rook here, and we have a perpetual. The most insane example of this pattern I've seen is from the game Khalifman against Salov. Khalifman, he was going to be a future FIDE world champion, knockout world champion in Las Vegas, I think in '99. He didn't find it. After a2, he played bishop e6 and eventually lost the game. But he could have played the absolutely insane bishop takes b7. We allow black to queen, and then calmly we play bishop takes c6, and there's simply no stopping this perpetual. It's unbelievable. If the queen tries to trade itself for the rook, white will never lose. And in fact, there are so many pawns that white might win. Let's play a move like queen b2. Keep the queen protected. But then, check. And we know this, king e8. Okay, here we could play actually rook d2 and then win the queen. But just to demonstrate the perpetual, rook check, rook check. Again, we need the pawn to protect the rook. And then the mechanism repeats, rook d6, and back and forth. There's one nuance here because there's shelter for the king, but we have this perpetual here and here, and there's no escape. Absolutely crazy example of this. Fantastic pattern, but maybe you can use it in your own game in the future. I hope so. Best of luck.